I wonder when the last time was that you asked yourself, how are relationships like bread? You ever wondered that? If you haven't, you should, and I'm going to tell you why, so stick with me. Hi, I'm Geoff Laughton, your relationshiparchitect.com, and welcome to my Thursday relationship tidbit. So, how are relationships like bread? Well, pretty simple, really. On one hand, a big commonality is when they're fresh, they taste great. Who doesn't love a nice, warm piece of fresh bread? And who doesn't love that exhilaration, all of those lovely chemicals, endorphins going through your body and your brain when you're first in love with somebody, all the hormonal excitation that gets everything going. Who doesn't love that? But like bread, if you leave it out and you don't keep it sealed up, or if you don't keep getting new bread, then eventually the loaf you have, it molds and then it decays, and then you got nothing but moldy bread. I was working with a couple last week, and they've been together a pretty fair amount of time. And they're really having to face the reality that in all those years they've been together, they really never kind of, just if I stick with this kind of weird metaphor, they never took care of continually updating or upgrading the bread. And this is a thing with relationships. When you first get together, there's all of whatever the attraction is. There's all that, yummy, yummy, yummy. But then once that wears off, that's when you really have to kind of design and build and grow the full potential of the relationship. And a lot of people just don't, either they don't think about it, they don't know how to do it, or they don't think to do it. And then what can happen, like is happening with this couple that I'm referring to, you have all these years together, you build a life, you build careers, you have a family. And then one day, particularly after the kids have left home, you're kind of sitting there going, hey, who are you? And you find out that you've really changed an enormous amount internally, but you don't really know who your partner is anymore. So I think that a way to help prevent that from happening is to decide if you're willing to have your relationship be an evolutionary one. Is it a relationship that keeps evolving? Because after all, if your relationship with you doesn't keep evolving, you don't evolve. And therefore, if you're half of a relationship, guess what happens to the relationship? So here's what you got to do. If you want an evolutionary relationship, first you have to get clear, is that something you want? Do you really want to spend 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years with somebody where, every day is like an example of wash, rinse, repeat? Not for me. Then if you decide that you want that, then you have to really look at what is it? Well, it's a commitment to growth. Period. Full stop. An evolutionary relationship is one who has a central purpose of continuing growth. So what are some of the ways to get there if that's what you want and if it really speaks to your heart? Well, one thing you've got to do is you have to look at, where are you now? How well do you know your partner, really? How much do you think you know them because of their habits versus what it is that actually is now important to them? What keeps them up at night? So you've got to really find out how well you really know each other, or you don't. Then, with whatever that yields, then you want to be able to look at, well, where could we grow together? Individually too, but together. So on at least a semi-annual or annual basis, you really want to be looking for what's edgy, an edgy area of growth that we could pursue, whether that's joint activities, whether that's our sex life, whatever it might be. Where can we grow? What interests us? What frightens us at all? Then the other thing to do is to, on I'd say an annual basis, you really, really need to be looking and sharing with each other how your values may have changed or not. And if they haven't changed, how are you living those values? Where have you gotten off track individually and together? And work with coming up with a plan for how you can best support yourself and each other in getting realigned with those values, or maybe new things are more important to you. So I guess maybe in a way you could really boil it down to, you have to talk regularly about the non-mundane stuff that your spirit and your mind both want to be able to keep feeling alive. If you're never feeling alive in your relationship, you're not evolving. So if this has spoken to you in a particular way, and you've heard any of this, and the little voice in your head's been going, oh shit, well then I invite you to go to yourrelationshiparchitect.com/relationship-help, and you can look and see if you'd like to have a chat with me to specifically look at how your relationship and its foundation, how solid is it? How has it been evolving? If it isn't evolving, is there a way for it to? How might you get there? So if you're interested in that, go to that link, yourrelationshiparchitect.com/relationship-help. Okay, thank you for watching. Go out there and love your life as fully as you dare, and I'll see you next time. Take care.